Boom. Yes. Yes. Nevano. What a ball. Yo, we got motherfucking Venus in Libra. We got Mercury in Sagittarius. And we got the moon and sun in motherfucking Scorpio. So with all that being said, right? So basically, this is how this shit break down. We got the sun and moon conjunct in one motherfucking area, right? So the sun is expressing and revealing things that have been in the dark, that have been in the shade, things that we've been trying to hide and not really show off, right? It could be because these things are heavy. It could be because we don't think these things are understood, right? Scorpios are often misunderstood. So with both the sun and moon there, the moon protects the sun, but when they're in the same position, it's like the moon is getting a say in how it's being projected, you know, because the moon is our emotional comfort, and the sign that it's in is what we're emotionally comfortable with. So with the sun and moon sharing a sign, sharing a space, right, we're feeling emotionally comfortable exerting this energy of shadow, this energy of darkness, this energy of the metaphysical things we're sharing with others, you know, you feel me? Like, it could be emotions, it could be actual things, right? Because we know Libra is before Scorpio, and Libra rules partnerships, and Scorpio is the aftermath of that, when things begin to get deep, and then, you know, Sagittarius is when you expand. So we have the sun and moon in between Mercury and Sagittarius, which is our thoughts, communication patterns, and a sign that is in Sagittarius is what we're talking about, how we're talking about things, right? So with Mercury there in Sagittarius, and we have Venus on the back end of our sun and moon, right? And Libra is all about relatability, partnerships, fairness, justice, being even, right? So with our Venus and our Mercury on opposite ends of our sun and moon, there can be friction caused when, say, our Venus and Mercury interact with each other as they are in a sextile. Sextile being they are 60 degrees apart or 2 signs apart. Libra is 7, Sagittarius is 9. So with this sextile between our Mercury and Venus, we're thinking about the value of our partnerships, right? But the meaning with the meaning behind it and the experiences that come, right, as we have these thoughts. You understand? So with that being said, that's the sextile. Sextiles are sex, and they create and give birth for new energies and new pathways to be open. But they're sextiling, and we got the moon and sun in the middle. The moon and sun in Scorpio might be getting rubbed the wrong way by this sextile, because when signs are next to each other and planets are there, it can cause friction between these energies, right? So we have the sun and moon interacting with Mercury and Venus. So Mercury and Venus are, well, Mercury is logic, right? Logic, communication, and Venus is more about values, aesthetics, pleasures. So our pleasures, we're being pleased by our relationships, and at this time, if we are not, we will use our sun sign moon energy, right? Our moon is getting disgruntled by this sextile between our mind and our values, right? How we're communicating, how we're thinking about things, how we're thinking about philosophies and expansion in our experiences, and how we're tying wisdom to what that sextile with Venus and Libra. Venus and Libra being a lot of self-love, right? Trying to love ourselves in our relationships and our partnerships, right? With that being said, with that happening, in between that is the sun and moon, who are both in Scorpio, sharing a space. So with them sharing space, they are in agreement. But the sun and Venus, not necessarily that they are not in agreement, but they're kind of in like totally different areas, where Libra and Venus might want to keep it more light than the sun and moon, who are wanting to go deep and then get towards Sagittarius, which is the expansion of these deep, unfiltered feelings, right? Fixed water, Scorpio, and then Mercury in Sagittarius. Mercury is also debilitated or in detriment in Sagittarius, which means it is in its opposite sign. So with Sagittarius, with Mercury being in its opposite sign of Sagittarius, the things we say and how we expand on our communication and our thoughts may be incorrect. We may be thinking too grandiose. It may be too big picture for the depth and the deep insightfulness of our sun and moon, right? Of our character and our emotions, the things we're feeling comfortable with right now. Not to say that we are not comfortable with expanding on our thoughts, the meanings and reasons behind our thoughts connected to our values, aesthetics, and partnerships in our relationships. It's just that these things cause friction, right? Our reason may friction and cause tension with how we're acting out that meaning and reason, because the sun is revealing. The sun is the awareness. The sun is the action. The moon is the reaction, right? So we're acting and we're reacting in the same kind of way. And this all goes into alignment with your own placements and those around you. So with that being said, Mercury and Sagittarius and Libra and Venus is causing friction with our sun and moon. It's not necessarily negative friction. It could, of course, be used for good things, like understanding, deep understanding of self and others, and how we are showing up for ourselves and others in these relationships, experiences, and the wisdom that we can gain from them, right? Because the South Node, which is spiritual comforts, right? Things that we can run to when we're not feeling comfortable in growth, right? The South Node is in Libra as well as Venus. So, and we know Venus can be illusionary. Venus is a gas planet. So, with that being said, even our values, we can see how the comfort in our set values that we built are no longer working, and how we may need to go towards more in terms of expansion or in terms of diving deep into something. With the sun, moon, and Mercury, right? Mercury being in Sagittarius, the sun and moon being in Scorpio. So yes, these four alignments are heavily impacting right now, because these are the personal planets. These are the faster moving planets. And when they switch signs, as Libra, Venus and Mercury are just within 5 degrees of Libra and Sagittarius, there's a shift in perspective. There's a shift in momentum when the planets switch signs, right? So, you know that Mercury and Venus just switched, right? Venus just switched from Virgo, which is more maiden-like, which is more worrisome, analytical, into more relatability, into more comfortability with justice, with fairness, with evenness, not just helping others, but also serving self, helping self, loving self. And then Mercury went from Scorpio, thinking intuitively, thinking almost like a detective, right? So went from Mercury into Sagittarius, which is a more philosophical tone when it comes to how we're communicating, what we're talking about, right? So this is a kind of new energy that we're experiencing with the combination of the sun and moon in Scorpio. And I'm out.